She frowned at Alice's bad taste. It was the kind of idea her roommate found to be inspired, but Aoko knew was out of the question. Aoko was looking for a natural, bounded field she could prepare, not a realm bordering on true magic that she couldn't create to begin with.
I see. But yeah, don't bring him home, whoever this is.
The only guy I ever brought home followed me, and I kicked his ass and put him in the hospital and stole his student council position.
Right. Oh.
Aoko smirked and shifted her balance away from the wall she was resting on.
Thank you, Alice.
Oh god.
Now in a good mood, Aoko retreated from the drawing room. Alice tried and failed to visualize what kind of blueprint Aoko had drawn up in her mind, but whatever it was, it appeared to be the thorough kind Aoko was good at.
Well, we'll see.
Aoko headed for the bathroom, humming to herself as she went. A year and a half of sharing a living space had taught Alice something. When Aoko Aozaki was in this good of a mood, only deep trouble could follow. It was unclear how long the bird had been in the drawing room. Chirping at Alice, the robin-like bird pranced across the furniture as if it were its property. Have Japanese people not seen robins? They're not bright blue.
Oh.
It's more like a blue jay than a robin.
Yeah, I don't know. The girl in black raised her arm. The bird, chirping once again, alighted on her outstretched, affectionate finger. Huh. The bird puffed out its stout chest in agreement. And Aoko was none the wiser to her roommate's rather unsettling comments. Boy, I'm sure it's meant to be rust, but yeah.
Boy, did that guardrail look bloodstained.
Right.
The following day was a typically overcast one. What do you suppose that cage is alongside the building there?
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Like, you're trying to is it like some kind of elevator, or is it just like...
I'm wondering if that's the school gate and they just lower it when class starts.
The day's classes ended as they'd started, uneventfully. Winter break was just around the corner, and with it, final exams. Although Misaki High prided itself on discipline, it was still a private school, and as such promoted a culture of independence among its students.
Did it now?
Industrious students had a place to explore that side of themselves under the guardianship of the student council president. More easygoing students could spend their time after school as they wished, as long as they were mindful of personal responsibility and joined a club because they weren't allowed not to. It was in the school rules. The fact that the poster boy of independence was the student council vice president indicated just how vast the spectrum was.
Aozaki, iruga?
Well,
Tobimaru Tsukiji threw open the door to the satellite student council room, the rumored location of their secret meetings.
not very secret if it's a student council room.
Despite all appearances, he was the student council vice president, who also happened to be the poor soul responsible for executing the student council's dirty work.
Wow.
One person was waiting for him in the cramped room, giving him the look of death.
Jeez, she is annoyed from the start with this guy.
She just hears his voice, she's like, oh, fuck this guy.
My mood just dropped 10 points.
The student council president, Aoko Aozaki, sat imperiously in a folding chair, glaring at Tobimaru in his boisterous entrance.
相変わらず寒いなこの部屋。なあ、今度ストーブ購入しようぜ。
So as not to succumb to Aoko's oppressive silence, Tobimaru opened with some casual small talk.
お疲れ様。ところであんた、何しに来たのか分かってる？
I very nearly thought that last line said casual shit talk.
No.
What's up, Aozaki? How's your PMS today?
まあな。ただ、事務的に話すのって寒いじゃねえか。少しぐらい世間話でもしねえとつまらねえだろ。
Tobimaru closed the door and sat down across from Aoko. He was holding a blue envelope.
こういう時は無駄口は叩かない方がいいわよ。なんとなくプロっぽいでしょ。
ある。いや。
Oh?
Tobimaru was halfway to agreeing with Aoko before he caught himself and began to shake his head. As much as Tobimaru enjoyed the lack of red tape in his new line of work, he wasn't ready to turn full spy on his first day on the job.
それで
Okay.
調べ終わったの？
ああ、ついさっき最後の聴取を済ませてきた。詳しいことはその封筒に入ってる。お前から渡された例のファイルもそんなか。
He tossed the envelope onto the table. Okay, so it's dated the 3rd of January, I think.
I'm
pretty sure they
Japanese
use...
uses day, month?
I'm pretty sure they use day month. I don't think they use month. I think the West, I think the Americas are the only place that does day month. Or month day, rather.
Oh, okay.
So I'm pretty sure that's January 3rd, not March 1st.
Oh, alright.
Not least of which because we knew it was Christmas not too long ago.
Was it? I forgot.
Because we were in December.
Oh.
Because we started in November and then we moved into December pretty quickly.
Okay.
So
That would make
I
sense.
doubt it's March already.
Yeah, okay.
そう。
Aoko picked it up and began to scan through the documents that were inside. She entered her own little world, not sparing the slightest bit of attention for Tobimaru. If ignoring other people were a skill, she would be a master.
なあ、
何？
一つ聞きたいんだけどよ。
だから何？
The room was filled with a chilling silence. Aoko continued her reading without an ounce of emotion upon her face. Though Tobimaru kept up an air of indifference, his stare remained fixed intently on her.
青崎、そういうの作って楽しい？
楽しいわけないでしょ。こんなの作ったところであんまり使う機会なんてないんだから。
そうか。
So you want to use it more?
Whether or not he was convinced, Tobimaru stood up from his chair with a disappointed expression.
最後まで読めばわかるだろうが、あんまり確証は取れなかったぜ。というより、おとといあの辺りにいた生徒はいないって話になりそうだ。まあ断定はできないけどな。
For instance, Soujuuro gave a really non-committal answer. No longer concerned over his task, Tobimaru headed towards the door, as if to say it was out of his hands.
そうだ。そういえば、一人だけ該当しなかったやつがいる。季節外れの転入生までは、青崎も調べきれ
What?
なかった。
Why would you forget that?
So yeah, Soujuro's not in there. Aoko raised her head ever so slightly. He was right. The recent transfer student wasn't included within the scope of her investigation.
そんなわけで、その字に関しては調べてないぜ。
Well, by process of elimination then!
まあいつならいつだろうと遅くまでバイトだろうが。いや、 人殺しを見たなんてこと口走ってるようじゃ、家で悪い夢でも見てたのかもしれねえか。
Tobimaru, you have no way of knowing this dude, but you just threw that kid under so many buses.
Huh, wow.
Yeah,
Weird.
you know, he was definitely working late that night. Or, wait, no, he did say he saw a murderer. But, like, I told him he was probably dreaming, so don't worry
Right.
about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, see ya. Tobimaru cheerfully left the student council room. Like, even under normal circumstances, he'd be like, oh yeah, he said he saw a
Yeah,
murder
I know.
that night. Anyway, bye.
He must have been sleep deprived. I don't know. Yeah, Huh?
Huh? Simultaneously, Aoko felt her fingers go numb, and the document she was holding spilled all over the table.
そんなまさかね。
Why is it not possible?
Mm,
In what way is it not possible, Aoko?
that he saw that much?
She broke out into a cold sweat and tried to tell herself that there must be some kind of mistake. However, the uncomfortable feeling in her gut would simply not go away. Perhaps because her intuition was almost always right at times like these.
バカらしい。
And yet, she knew what she had to do. She would not have hesitated to kill Tobimaru if he'd been the witness.
Of course.
But if it was him? Just considering the possibility caused her blood to run cold. Aoko put her forehead in her hands and began to brood. And then, suddenly...
Let us talk choice. You will always be faced with choices. A virtuous fool and a wicked sage. You cannot save both. You must pick one. That is the freedom granted to you.
So, trolley problem.
Kinda? It's like the moral weight of two different people, I guess.
Right, trolley problem.
Well, of two people, not of one versus many.
Well, the
'Cause
trolley
there's-
problem is not always one versus
Oh,
many.
okay.
You know, sometimes it's something like... So on one track, you've got, like, your best friend, and on the other track, you have a doctor who has the cure for cancer.
Ah. Okay.
Like, that is a
Okay.
component of the trolley problem. And that's basically what they're doing. Like,
Yeah.
it's an idiot who's very well-intentioned, or this genius of a man who's kind of a dickhead.
Right, yeah.
Pick one. 2 years earlier, Aoko muttered the words offered by her grandfather the day she replaced her elder sister as his successor, and let out a sigh of lament.
すごくバカみたい。
She laughed at her own intuition. But it was no joke. If only those words had never been said. Aoko locked up the student council room and left for the day. Calmly, as though nothing untoward had happened, she greeted the students as they passed her in the halls. She was almost shocked by how natural she seemed. There were still plenty of students at the school. The grounds were noisy with the chattering of students who had finished the day but had yet to head home. Others still had club activities. The gray sky looked ready to pour, but nobody seemed to pay it any mind. Amidst the clamor, Aoko hastened to the school gate.
Yeah, I guess that is a gate, somehow.
She passed by some students in animated conversation. They seemed to be talking about their after-school plans. Apparently, they were adamant about maximizing their free time.
Yep, sounds like high school students.
She couldn't figure out how they could possibly be so irresponsibly focused on fun, but at the same time was in no mood to make fun of or feel envious of them. 2 short years prior, she'd been just like them.
根は冷めてるのかな、私って。
She retied her scarf, this time more tightly, to give off an air of solitude.
I guess.
Oh, but she was fooling no one. I couldn't see the vertical line on the B for a second. It was
okay.
blending in with the pole. After all, what people who feign solitude are really masking is rejection.
そうよね。孤独っていうのはああいうのを言うもんでしょうし。
The area by the school gate was busier than usual. A group of boys appeared to be huddled behind it. Their transparent attempt to be discreet in terms of both location and loudness of voices did nothing to hide the fact that they were noisily arguing about a girl standing alone on the other side of the street.
Oh boy. Oh.
The girl was cloaked in a black cape. At first glance, it could have been mistaken for normal attire, but those from Misaki could tell that she wore the uniform of a prestigious girls' school. How they could tell this under the heavy cloak that she was wearing was beyond any of them.
I have no idea how they
I suppose they had X-ray eyes, but specifically for the top layer of clothing. Said school had no connection to Misaki High in any way, shape, or form. The two schools were miles apart, both physically and spiritually.
Huh.
A member of that school's student body was a rare sighting, as the majority were forced to live in the school dorm.
Oh.
Rayan Girls Academy had a reputation as a school for princesses, and it was rare indeed for one to be slumming with the common folk.
Alright.
That alone would have been enough to cause the ruckus among the boys, but this girl looked the epitome of class. One could not help but describe the standing figure as charming. The way she silently, motionlessly waited was reminiscent of a meticulously composed portrait. Aoko thought she was the most beautiful girl in the world. Aoko took one look at her before instantly recalling that one word. Solitude.
まったくうちの男子どもは家に帰りもせず陰でこそこそやってるのはそういうこと。
They don't, Aoko. There's an attractive woman standing right there.
Right, yeah, they have nothing better to do than gawk.
Disgusted, Aoko barged through the front gate. At this point, she would normally head home, but today she crossed the street toward the waiting girl.
あれなるは生徒会長様？くそ、追っ払う気なのかよ。痛いんならいつまでだっていさせてあげればいいじゃんか。
No, leave her alone. She's just standing there being gorgeous. Don't chase her off. She's not even on school property.
てか怒られる？怒られるのあの天使。よその生徒でも校門前にいるぐらいなら別に問題はな
I
い
mean, probably. The school might on the other side of the street, I don't know.
青子女子は容赦ねえからな。下手すると平手だぜ。平手。